What's happening? Yeah, what's happening? What's that? That's it, you got it.
What is up, everybody? My name is Dane Thompson, and you're watching What's Happening? Woo! This is the web series where I fill in the gaps here on the BurnDown YouTube channel in between the things I actually work on, and then I get to answer questions, kind of interact with you guys, and go over stuff that I don't normally go over when I'm shooting videos. Typically, when I shoot the video, I'm actually trying to get stuff done and film versus, you know, entertain myself. We kind of do that as well. Anyways, I wrote a list today so that way I don't just ramble for God knows how long, so we'll try to get to the point, get you guys informed, let you get back to whatever it is you were actually doing that was probably important. So, first things first, I want to address the ads. So, I make these videos, I edit them, I watch them multiple times during the editing process to the point to where when I upload that thing, I don't want to watch it anymore. I'm good if I'm releasing it out into the wild. Well, there's a button that you click for monetization and like non-monetized videos or whatever. And I found the other day I uploaded one, it was like 20 minutes long or something on the Twinnebago. And then YouTube just smashed that thing with ads, and some guy was like, "Oh, great, dude, way to go! You're adding more ads to your stuff." And I was like, "What? I just hit the button." So I went back and looked, and it was ridiculous. There was like 5 or 6 or something on that. So I took majority of those off, and then I will be mindful in the future. And I think it happens because usually around the 10-minute mark, 15 or so, it's cool. And it seems like I get to 20, you're like over, and it just annihilates it. So on the Happel, I did an interview with Matt Happel. I left monetization on that, and it's like I don't even know how many hash marks, so I just took it off completely. So any live videos, I'm not going to monetize. Anytime I interact with somebody, I'm not going to monetize those. And then the ones that I make where I put some effort in, I'll just be mindful when I click that button just to double check that it doesn't pepper you guys to the point to where you don't want to watch. Because some of the stuff, let's be honest, like you're sitting there and then you're going to get hammered with commercials on top of whatever it is. That's not cool. And I did think about just doing away with it altogether. So maybe like next month or something, maybe we can do that. We'll just do like a month of a string of videos where I can just do no monetization at all, and then you guys won't get beat up with any ads. I guess we can do that. But it is nice, I will say. I put a lot of effort in all this stuff, and it's chump change that comes through, but every once in a while it kind of helps out. And there's like an extra $100 or $200 laying around. It's like, oh, I can buy that car part or whatever. So I'd like to keep it on there because I do put it back into my cars and video equipment and memory cards, whatever it is that I kind of need at the time. Because I just kind of set it and forget it. And then when I need like an extra $100, like I said, it's there. So it's cool. So I'm not going to get rid of it altogether because I don't think that that's really ideal. But I'm not going to pepper you guys with a billion ads. Okay, on to the next thing. Already rambling. Maliboom stickers. So I reached out to a company and I talked to them back and forth. It's the same people, I think I've already told you guys this, that made Lyle Barnett's Beer Money t-shirt. I really like the design, and he turned me on to the guys that did his artwork. So I've already sent my deposit in. They got cracking on the artwork. I'm hoping to hear back sooner than later. I'd say maybe by the end of this week, maybe like next week or so. And I will get my artwork and the rights to it, and then we're going to go gung-ho and make a bunch of stickers. So I'll give you guys a heads up, and I think I'll just make probably like 100 or something out of the gate. We'll see. We'll see what the artwork and all that stuff looks like. And I will let you guys know when those bad boys are live on the site. And speaking of that, I'm completely out of Uncle Gus stickers. I sent the last 6. I thought I had more than that, and the guy ordered 7. So I had to substitute with some other stickers, and I sent it out. So he was cool with that. But I'm completely out of those, and I don't want to reorder the Gus stickers until I get the new Maliboom stickers. And then the other thing with the Gus stickers, I think I might make like mini Gus, like little teeny ones, the regular ones, and then I think I might make a few of the bigger, like some big Gus stickers, because it's just a 3-inch right now, so I can mail them out. But I think I could probably make some larger ones to cover like bigger spaces. Let me know what you guys think on that. And then I just have to find an envelope, I guess, that I can ship them out if you guys want to do some larger Gus. Like right now I said they're 3x3. So maybe we'll do like a 5x5 or something. I don't know. We'll see. And then the Uncle Gus hats. I placed an order for those. It was supposed to be done for LS Fest West, which is long gone, which was April. And then all the COVID stuff hit, and my order, everything just went by the wayside. The lady that does them is going through some family issues right now because I heard through the grapevine, so I'm not about to bother that poor lady at this point. So we'll let some things calm down, we'll figure it out. But I get all my stuff stitched locally. The lady takes care of me. So I'm not going to bother her with those, and we'll just see. We'll play it by ear. As soon as those are back in stock, we'll let you guys know, because those things, they sell out pretty much as soon as I order them. So maybe this time I'll get a couple dozen or something. We'll see. So anyway, that is the news for merchant for those fun things. I'm really excited about the Maliboom artwork. Oh, that was the other thing. When I get the artwork, I'm going to make stickers regardless because I think it's cool and it'd be fun to send those out to everybody. But there's a good possibility that I could do a batch of t-shirts. So right now all my stuff gets done on like Shopify. It's all print on demand. So the prices are kind of high and the profit margin is really non-existent. I only get a couple bucks per item for the most part on there. So I could put the artwork on those shirts, but they're going to be expensive. So what I'm hoping to do is the same company that did the artwork, I might have them do a batch depending on what their minimums are and how much interest from you guys. And then that way we can keep prices down and just get you guys shirts. I'm not really trying to make real profit on the shirts, but I would obviously not like to pay for shipping or anything. I'd like them at least to cover themselves. But if I can send you guys shirts, that would be awesome. So, and worst case, if nobody wants one, if I like the artwork, I'll just do a print on demand. I'm not too worried about it. Or maybe we can even do a test run. My sticker guy can do onesie twosie print on demand shirts. So maybe I'll just have him whip me up one. We'll see what it looks like, and we'll go from there. So that is that. What else? So let's jump into the Twinnebago build. So as far as videos are concerned, I think I cut all the brake lines, line lock, all that stuff in. So that's where we're at as far as videos go. And then last weekend, because I've been so far ahead, I didn't even bother filming. I started to, and then was just like, we're not going to do it. I'll just get stuff done. So as we sit right now, you can see the little turbos are gone. They're sitting on the front of the thing. The hot side is in. The wastegates are on and cut in, which that was what I was filming last weekend, and I just gave up because I'm like, nobody wants to watch this. Sorry. So we cut wastegates in, and it's really not an exciting video, so I didn't bother filming it. But we'll throw the bumper on and all that stuff, and coming this weekend, we'll get into some more fun stuff, and then I will recap that. But wastegates are in, O2 is cut in, and then the front half with the turbo hot side is all plumbed. So I still have to put the exhaust portion in. I made a fuel line, so the fuel's connected from the rig up to the sensor. So I got a content sensor because we're going to run flex fuel on it, courtesy of Happel. He gave me the plug and play harness, so I went ahead and bought the flex fuel. So that thing will run on E85, and then when we're heading out of town, it'll just be pump 91. But that's where we're at on that thing. We're just still trucking along. I made a list of things, and I've been checking them off over there. There's a few more things that I need to kind of get going and check off, but mainly it's plumbing. We got the turbo plumbing. We got to put the radiator in, get that plumbed up, plumb the transmission lines once the radiator's in for the cooling. Oh, the other cool thing I did too is I got the shifter to work. So the OG shifter works with the 480 in the Twinnebago right now too. So I didn't cover all that. Yeah, I got some stuff done. Anyway, sorry about that, but yeah, we're rolling on that bad boy. And then last but not least, if you've made it this long in the video, I want to share with you the Maliboom. That thing is killing me right now, and I swear, pretty much that's the whole reason I made this video, because I want to tell you guys that you can't make shit up. Sometimes it's just so much that at this point, the Maliboom is pretty laughable. So if you guys aren't aware, I have a big giant turbo back here, and then the last, you probably heard, may or may not, I took and I started moving weight out of the Maliboom because I want to get some traction, get to 60 foot down, and we're shooting for a 9-second pass. This is kind of cheap insurance for the most part, because if I left the intercooler on, I know for a fact that this would make enough power with a 2060 probably to put me damn near the 9s, at least close to it. And if I could even cut like a 1.8 just like I did in Arizona with the added power, you know, we should be right there. So that was why I got the turbo. But ultimately, I wanted to work on the 60 foot. So I borrowed scales from a buddy. We weighed the car. It's a 60-40 split. 60% of the weight is up front, 40's in the rear, which is terrible. As far as I read, a 4-link won't even really start to function properly until it's at least like a what is it, 55-45 split. So I got to get some weight off the nose. Well, first and foremost, you move the battery, you know, and then I can take out the inner fender wells. And then with Project Chernobyl, we're going to hang a bigger turbo, but I'm going to get rid of the intercooler because that weighs a bunch, and just basically strip everything out the front I can. And then if we have to, even add a little to the back or whatever, just to get the bias a lot better. And then I was going to throw some suspension components, maybe some adjustable rear shocks, and we were going to have at it as soon as all this stuff lifted. That was the plan, and that was well on my way. I moved the battery, and then that is it. It has been gremlins upon gremlins, and then yesterday was like the last straw, and I actually came in today. Well, today was kind of the last straw. So we moved the battery, and then I had 2 sensors in a row fail. I think that was maybe probably grounding issues, but it was the dome pressure sensor, right? So one of them went kaput. I put the backup one I had in, that thing died. So basically we got that worked out. I got some new sensors. I got another backup sensor. We put it in, and then the car wasn't running all that great. So I was chasing my tail with injectors and injector data. And then right when I kind of squared that away, right, the car wouldn't start. So it's been having this problem intermittently, and then you put the charger on and the thing would jump and it'd work. I'm like, well, it's got to be the starter. It's a used starter that I got when I originally put the whole car together. So I splurged and went and bought a remanufactured that are like ridiculous, like $200 at O'Reilly, but it comes with a lifetime warranty. So I figured, well, if that one dies, at least that's it. Like, I just bought the one, we're cool. So I bring it home and then everything starts, and I'm playing with the injector. The injectors I have are FICs, 127s, and it's not the FIC that Holly lists, it's the other one. So there's 2 of them, which is very confusing. And they run on the FIC injector data that's in the Holly drop down, but it doesn't idle very well. And the problem I was having is you'd give it like a little gas, and then when it'd come back, it'd go blip, 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 and it would just basically shit on itself, and then it would level off and find its level. And I'm like, it's not supposed to drown itself and then come back and do that every time. So I was messing with the scaling on the injectors and the minimum time opening or whatever, just barely tweaking stuff and then watching it learn and seeing what the thing was doing. Anyways, we got it to where it's pretty decent. Then the starter thing happens, right? So I go get a new starter, come back, it was starting, everything was cool, injectors, everybody was kind of looking happy, and then the starter would start again. So now I'm like, oh man, so I start overthinking it. Well, it turns out it's neutral safety, right? Narrow it down to that, no big deal. Adjust it on the shifter. Haven't adjusted it since I put that thing in the car, whenever that went in the car a couple of years ago. So I was like, well, an adjustment every once in a while probably doesn't hurt. So then we put the new starter in, got that adjusted. When I start it, the thing chirps and it starts making noise, right? Okay, so now the starter is like hanging up. So at this point, I have injectors that have been giving me troubles. I've had sensors that have died. And all I've done up to this point is move the battery from up front to the trunk. That is it, right? Obviously, that would be some electrical problems. So I was like, okay, the sensor thing, not a big deal. The starter thing, that's an adjustment, whatever. So, well, now the thing chirps. So now I'm thinking, oh, well, did I put the other starter back? I'm like, you know what? I don't really care that much. When you start, it kind of does whatever. It'll self-clearance is what I'm thinking. Well, I go to put it in gear. When I put it in reverse, it chirped. I was like, oh, that's kind of weird. Next gear, it chirped, and it has this like screechy little chirp to it every time you put it in gear, right? So I'm like, well, you know what? I'm just gonna take it around the block. We got the injectors kind of idling, happy. I want the thing to kind of self-learn, and just to see what it's doing after all this fiasco, at least drive the damn thing around the block. Go to put it in gear. It's taking off really sluggish. I don't have low gear. So now I'm thinking, oh, well, I haven't really adjusted the band. I probably should have done that already. So we'll see. So I checked the shifter linkage, make sure that's good. Adjusted band, nothing. Smelling the fluid. It doesn't smell burnt. And that is where we are now. So I went from moving a battery and trying to upgrade turbos and have some fun to I don't have low gear and the thing chirps when I put it into gears. And it's just disheartening, but it is kind of funny because this is exactly how cars work. It is just a snowball, and it starts off with like, I just want to move some weight to I could possibly be pulling my transmission out. So that is awesome. So it's not you guys. You know, I was just gonna say it happens to everybody. It's not just you, and it's not just me. It is car building 101. You know, you check the blinker fluid and then your tire's low, right? I mean, it is so outlandish that I can't even make this stuff up. And it seems like every time I do one thing, it's like dominoes and 5 other things fall down. But we were getting it knocked out, we were getting it handled, and it is what it is. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put, check the line pressure on the transmission, have my wife help me so I don't run myself over, because you got to put it in gear. So I'm not doing that by myself. That's really sketchy. So we'll get it jacked up, check line pressure, and it's just low gear. It's just a band. So something died, and I would think if the low band got smoked out of improper linkage or some sort of adjustment or whatever, that you would smell it. But the transmission fluid in my car doesn't stink. And then I just got to drop the plug and see if it's full of a bunch of black stuff and Kevlar band, I guess. So yeah, what are the odds of all of that stuff happening? But the plan still is to go Chernobyl once we figure the transmission out now. So I'm going to build an entirely new cold side, maybe kind of fix the hot side a little bit, but basically we're going to bolt this bad boy on, run it straight into the manifold, and then we're going to let it eat hot air and see what happens. And then if that works out, we don't blow things to pieces. We'll run it like that depending on the power level. I'm still shooting, if I can stay the same power level, is what I make now without an intercooler, by probably turning the boost up, because obviously the hot air to compensate. That's my goal with this. So if we can just make the same 600 at the tire, or 6 and some change, I'm happy. We'll run it like that for a bit, and then I'd like to change this out to a T6 hot side without changing anything else, and seeing if that frees up any extra power, if that brings the temperature, the IAT temperature down, all that stuff, just to see what happens without changing anything. So that's kind of the experiment. Running hot's the experiment, and then going from T4 to T6 to see if just freeing that up, the same boost level, same everything, makes a difference with everything. And then after that, I think we're going to do some janky water to air set up, and then we'll be real race car, I guess, at that point. But that's the plan with that, if we ever get that far. And then other than that, I just want to get some weight off the nose, drop this bad boy in, and then I'd like to have low gear so we can at least take off, and I don't smoke all my clutch packs if I haven't already, trying to cruise around the block. Although I was nice to it because I knew that it was in high gear, because it's just as sluggish as I'll get out. So we'll see. Hopefully I've got some, I'll check the line pressure and then we'll just go from there. But yeah, the low circuit not working is odd, unless it's just not engaging. The arm is going where it's supposed to, but if it's not moving that valve in the valve body, or there's something blocking it, or it says it could be a broken servo, you know, if it's bypassing fluid on the servo, I guess, or the missing linkage pieces, which I don't think I adjusted the band and it had tension, so I think all that stuff is good to go. We will see. So if I do have to open it up, though, to make lemonade out of lemons, I never replaced the planetary. The planetary is quite crunchy. There's in my car. It's some used-ass one. I don't even know. I just got it from like a used spot and traded the 182 for the 176 that's in it. If I gotta pull that goddamn thing out, you best believe we're putting some straight cut gears in there, and then replacing whatever parts obviously failed. But other than that, everything is pretty much new besides the planetary. So, oh, and then we'll do a Thornton bearing because I got roasted for that. And then I'll actually shim for end play because I did do that last time. So we'll inspect it. We'll see what's toast. We'll replace whatever we need to fix, and then we'll upgrade it with a new gear set. So then that thing will hopefully be even bigger and better. Or it's just something dumb, like the rooster comb is jacked up or something. It's not actually selecting the gear properly, because it is a two-piece unit. So who knows, man. Anyway, that's enough rambling of my worrisome troubles with my car, that you start with one thing and it just turns, it's just a nightmare. Oh man. All right, that's enough of that. I'm out.